Voila. When I have my students memorize their fretboard, I only have them memorize their natural notes, because if you know where your natural notes are, then you automatically know where all your sharps and flats are. If you look here, for example, if I am moving forward or going higher, I use sharps. If I'm going backwards, I use flats. So going forward, I would have F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp falling in between my natural notes. So I have E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So if I'm moving in reverse, I'm going backwards, then I use flats. So A, you move back to the 4th fret and it would be A flat. The G, then you move to G flat. So everywhere there's a space between the natural notes is a sharp or a flat. The reason I had you learn your 5th and your 6th string is because we're going to learn the power chord. The power chord is the top part of a bar chord. The bar chords are hard to hold at first. So until you get used to that, you can easily get used to the shape and how to move that around before you have to end up doing the bar to make it major or minor. The thing with the power chord is it doesn't give you major or minor. It just gives you note. When you hear it, it's just G. Doesn't give you G major or G minor. Major, minor. Doesn't give you that. It just gives you G, F, A. So that's the difference between the power chord and your standard major minor chords. Now, the thing is when you're learning songs, they can use whatever chords work for them, whatever key that they're in. And that's the hard part, because a lot of times when you're learning songs, you come across sharps and flats. And until you get your bar chord and some other extended chords, you can use this in place of those. You can play F sharp, B, C, play any chord using that as a substitute. Now let's zoom into this chord chart and I'm going to show you how to put your fingers on a power chord. So looking at this chord chart, whenever you have a chord chart, they're going to fill in the name in front of it. So we're going to make this one a G. It's going to be a G power chord. So I'm just going to put power underneath here. When you're looking at this, it is like the guitar standing up facing you. So you have the top of the guitar and the bottom. This is your low E and this is your high E. Let me write that. Low, high. Any dots that you see on this are going to tell you where to put your fingers. Not exactly showing you what fingers to use, but that is what these little numbers at the top are for. This is going to tell you that you're going to use your first finger on your fret hand, your third finger on your fretting hand, and your fourth finger. Because you might be left-handed, you might be right-handed. I'm left-handed, so my fretting hand is my left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these bottom strings, I'm not going to play those, so those are symbolized by an X. Most of the time, if I remember right, I do this. So that way you know what strings you're not supposed to play. So this is what a power chord looks like on a chord chart. Let's move down the line and look what a power chord looks like in tablature. So this is going to be our 4th part. Whenever you see the notes stacked like this is telling you they're played at the same time. You're just strumming them at the same time. And it's implied that only the notes that you see in tablature are what you're playing. If they wanted you to play those and have those, they would have something on it for you. Now, the bad thing is normally tablature doesn't give you the fingers. I do. I'm nice. I like that. So I tell you what fingers to use. At first, it's a little weird, seeing it on tablature, but anytime you see a note with that kind of spacing, 2 frets, 5, 7, 6, 8, 4, 6, you end up seeing power chords within this, and you just kind of know that all you have to do is see what that note is, and then you can just move 5th, and then you just have this shape and it automatically lands on 5, 7, 7. But like I said, I do give fingerings. Use your first finger, third finger, and your fourth finger. So we're going to start off, strum that 4 times. So now I have that written out for you. This is just your power chord moved back over your frets. Like I said, if you pay attention and you kind of look at this, you'll see that they're just 2 notes away. 5, 7, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1, 3. So let's try this out in order to get used to moving this power chord around. We have our A, A power chord, our G, and we're going backwards, so we'll call this G flat, F, and E. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add a repeat sign. So this is called a repeat sign. That means that you just go back to the beginning and start it over again. The repeat sign actually means to go back to the previous repeat and play what's within there, given however many times. Normally when I do that, I'll write for my students how many times I want them to do it. Usually it is around 100 times, and they do it every single time. They do everything that I give them 100 times. Now you're only trying to hit the top 3 strings. Get your fingers in place, 1st, 3rd, and 4th on your 5th, 7, 7, and you're just gonna strum that 4 times. That's your A. Then we're gonna move it back to your G. Then we're gonna move it back 1 fret, G flat. Then we're gonna move it to our F. And then we're gonna move it to our E. Now this is your E minor chord. If you already know your E minor chord, you know that you can play it like this. You can play it with 1 finger. You can play it with these 2 fingers. You can play it with these 2 fingers. You can play it with these 2. This is just to make it easier so that you can get used to transferring just on 1 string. The hardest part about this is keeping this distance right here. When I first started, it was like, it's gonna take a little while to get used to, but use this song to do it. The first song I recommend for you to learn is Brain Stew by Green Day. It takes these chords, it's played the way Green Day plays it, but use this as a practice. If you want to get faster at that, strum it once. Challenge yourself in different ways when it comes to playing your bar chords. The power chord works on your 6th and 5th string. So look at this next little exercise. Let me fill this in for you as well. We're going to repeat this bare minimum, I'd say 100 timos. The more you do it, the better you get faster. What? Get that? Words of wisdom. All right. So we have our F sharp, our B, our C sharp, G sharp. So this one, just to get used to. Just to get used to moving up and down from your 6th and your 5th string. Use that as a practice, play it faster and faster, get to where you can move that around. So you can use this exercise to work on that and learn a new song using your power chord. So this will give you 2 songs to learn. Your first song, Brain Stew by Green Day. This next song that I want you to look up and learn is Godzilla by the Blue Oyster Cult. The B.O.C. Blue Oyster Cult. Go on YouTube, find out easy versions to play it, listen to the song, enjoy the songs, then start learning how to play the songs. There are so many videos on there. How to play Brain Stew by Green Day. Look it up. How to play Godzilla. Look that up. Get used to finding songs that you want to learn how to play and the homework that I give you.